I love listening to music while smoking cigars. And I love the format of listening to like an album that's meant to be listened to in its entirety. You know, we're living in an age of sound bites and singles and shit like that, and it bothers me.
And downloads and Spotify.
Yeah,
that's antithetical to cigars.
Yeah, it's another ideal thing that should be in a cigar lounge is a whole vinyl corner. Like there should be like an actual.
So that's my dream. Is I want to sell.
That'd be great.
I have a little corner where I'm the record guy. I'm John Cusack and High Fidelity in the cigar. That's what. But yeah, man, music and cigars.
They're great. Like a lot of things, it goes really well with cigars. But I love like there's something about putting on a vinyl record that's it's so zen. Like you can sit down and you feel yourself going into a zone, which is why it lends itself so well to smoking a cigar.
It's just like the cutting, the lighting of the cigar, the cold draw. It's a process.
The ritual of it all.
Picking out the album, taking out the sleeve, putting it down, dropping the needle. It all goes.
There's much more tactile experience involved with vinyl. So let's rattle off some albums that you think are great.
So I have to get this out of the way. You'll probably cut this out.
No, I will not.
Every single Bob Dylan album goes great with cigars.
Who, by the way,
Young Bob, Idealistic Bob, Christian Bob, Old Man Bob, they all go great.
I can't disagree with that.
He is a cigar guy now too.
Yeah. It's certainly solid.
So I have to lead off with my favorite.
Oh, I know. I knew it was coming.
What is your favorite?
Blonde on Blonde.
Blonde on Blonde. Okay.
It's epic. It's very long. It was one of the first double albums, if not the first. And it's just one of those that has a lot of peaks and valleys. Take your time with it. If you just pick one song out at random, you wouldn't think this is the best Bob Dylan album. You have to enjoy the whole experience. Just like you take a couple of puffs on a cigar, maybe it's not for you, but if you enjoy it to the end, sometimes it surprises you. So that's my number one.
All right, so Blonde on Blonde. I have a special affinity for older Bob, like not older as in it was happened earlier, like when he's older.
Yes, I agree.
So like the album Time Out of Mind, I think is
that was going to be my number 3.
Yeah,
so you stole my thunder. Yeah, and that one's about mortality, and that goes perfect with a cigar to contemplate. I'm going to throw one more in there, get my 3 out of the way. Allman Brothers Live at the Fillmore East.
Great album.
Great album. Lots of blues. Goes great with cigars, obviously, but also a lot of jams in there that you're going to want to sit through. Like there's 18-minute long songs on there. You're going to need a cigar to take it.
Yeah.
So those would be my.
Take you on that trip for sure.
Yeah. Sarge, move in a little bit more.
A little more. Okay.
Just moving out. All right, Sarge, what are your 3? Since we just now arbitrarily did 3 albums.
Yeah, let's go right through it. All right. Led Zeppelin 2.
That's
good.
That's, all the numbered ones are great.
But everyone latches on to like Led Zeppelin 4 because it's got Stairway to Heaven in
classic.
it. But like 2 is like that's where it separates.
Two's got Whole Lot of Love, Moby Dick, Bring It On Home. I mean, it's chock
I'm in agreement with you.
I'm backing it up for those that want to argue with me online.
Yeah, comments are welcome.
No, absolutely.
There's going to be a lot of butthurt feelings in the comments, I'm sure.
I mean, and I'm not saying that any of the other ones are bad. It's just if I'm picking one of them, it's Led Zeppelin 2. That's a great one to sit through. I also like funk.
Sure.
So Parliament, Funk Kentucky versus the Placebo Syndrome. That's got some wicked
Tyler's
jams
a man
on there.
of unknown depths.
I surprise people, but Parliament I enjoy, and it's just the drum beats and everything that go along, and there's no, it's all over the place, and it's really fun to kind of listen to, especially when you're sitting down, you get your smoke going. That's got the excellent song Flashlight.
Oh,
Flashlight's awesome. It's a classic, right? And then one I've hooked onto recently that I just absolutely love, Clutch, the Elephant Riders.
Yeah. Now you've lost me. You're going to have to give me a little bit.
I'm not familiar either.
No, if you have not listened to that album.
Now I'm going to have to listen to Clutch.
It is a fantastic album. I think it's one of their best. And it's very rock and roll, but heavily blues inspired. And there's just great beats and rhythms throughout that whole thing. And just be able to sit down, get a cigar going. And it's a little more kind of, it's not as relaxed.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's still very heavy rock and roll element in there, but boy, it's just one good, you can listen to that whole thing, and it's just one good song after the other.
Yeah. My 3, and this is the one I start with, this is one that my mom and dad love Fleetwood Mac. And my dad in particular loved
Who
Fleetwood
doesn't,
Mac.
though,
Yeah,
man?
no,
A
Fleetwood
lot of
Mac's
young
a good
people
one.
don't even know who
Those
they
people
are.
don't know their ass from a hole.
That is also true.
It's a shame.
But Fleetwood Mac, their 11th album, studio album, so they were already plenty famous, and then this was definitely their best album, in my opinion. Rumors, everyone knows what the album cover looks like, but that album is just, first of all,
great album.
It's like 40 minutes long. It's not
No,
even
it's
that
not.
long.
No,
of
it's
a-
not.
But it is, man, talk about an emotion journey. Like, you get different levels of emotion in the different tracks. You got the poignant, you've got the heartbreak, you've got the mirthful, you've got all these things going, and all of this was being done while there was like severe infighting in the band.
Yeah.
Like there was broken relationships.
And a lot of the songs are about
right,
this
like
is
they
great.
were very
I
unabashed
saw
about
the Sound City
Oh, did you?
documentary.
Nice.
Yeah,
like that album is just unreal. Like every track is better than the next. You get stuff like "Go Your Own Way" and the Chain, "Daddy," "Don't Stop." I mean, it's a beautiful album, and they just the sound that they were able to capture. Plus, I love the variety of the vocal styles because you got
Because you got so many different-
Lindsey Buckingham, you got Christine McVie and Stevie Nicks all trading roles on who was going to be the front man as far as the lead vocals. And that's something you just don't see very often anymore,
Yeah.
is that
No.
trading of the front man position.
Yeah, usually when they trade, you're like, no, go back to
Go back to the other guy. No, they're all three are great.
Yeah, they're great singers. Each
Number 2, and this has a little bit of the Latin flair going with it, and that's what I
okay.
think.
Ooh, I'm in.
So the Latin flair that I love with this,
Yep.
with Santana Abraxas, you get all this you get the conga and the bongo drums going. You get this incredible guitar. You get some blues in there. You get some jazz in
You
there.
feel like you're in Havana.
Yeah, I mean, Carlos Santana is not Cuban,
He is.
but
Musically, he is.
but yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it just feels right smoking a cigar while listening to music like this. And again, there's all these ebbs and flows and what the feeling and the tone of the songs are going to be. And the album is so listenable. Like you lose yourself in the album. The music just it's effortless.
What is the first song on there? Because
It's
that
called-
instrumental is
It's
fantastic.
what is it? Something Wins, and I always
Wow,
forget the name of it.
Kicks it off right.
It's a great piece. And of course you got
Yeah,
Black
Santana's
Magic
a
Woman, you
great
got Oye
guitarist.
Como Va.
Oh yeah, and that I mean that is Little Havana to me. I know it
Right,
isn't, but man,
yeah.
it just sounds like.
But
Oh, yeah.
there's a one track in particular that really speaks to me, and I think it's called Samba Pati, and it means samba for you. And it was a song, it starts off very sort of like, almost like a lament. It's just an instrumental, so it's just a musical expose, and Carlos Santana wrote this, and he said that when he composed this piece, it was the first time where he really felt like this was his, like, everything before then he was using influences that he liked and just kind of interpreted onto the album. This one was the first time that he said that I really just felt like the music was coming through, like it was coming from me. That I wasn't really using influences from anybody else. This was like the best example of me speaking musically on this particular album. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. Starts off feeling kind of sad, and then it ends kind of a little bit more lighthearted. Last album, probably my favorite album of all time. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh yeah.
And Cigars for
Never
Me.
heard of it.
Cigars for me are all about introspection, meditation, and there's a lot of introspective themes involved in Dark Side of the Moon. You got themes of like
Mortality.
for sure. I love the fact that they have a track called Time and Money in the same
Yeah,
album. I
yeah.
love that. And the contrast between the two is like Money is more like, it's almost, what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like it's, almost feels frivolous in a certain sort of way, because it's like, money, buying jets and football teams, and just living the lavish lifestyle. And then when you get to time, it's like, no, things are getting serious now. You could have all the money in the world, but time is going to escape you. And I love that. Plus, Us and Them, another great track on that one. It was inspired about, scars from World War II and dealing with PTSD and being traumatized from the war. But on a more general sense, it's like, let's look at human nature in general. It's like we're always trying to divide each other in groups all the time. Why do we do that? and I love those themes.
I love how you guys are all like into the themes and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like, I just like this music. This is great. I could
I
listen
like
to this.
music.
This one
This drum good.
Well,
No,
you know what?
But they have to have both to have a great album.
It's
If
true.
It was just poetry. we wouldn't listen.
Yeah. But thinking about the when you were saying Santana, this just occurred to me, and it's a soundtrack from a movie, but it's a great movie.
Love movie soundtracks.
Chef.
Oh yeah.
That whole soundtrack.
That's a great
is
movie. It's a good
amazing.
soundtrack.
It's a great movie.
It's a really good movie.
Like just on a small tangent here with that whole movie is a love letter to food and movies
And family.
and
And
family.
family, yeah.
It is all three of those, and they did such a good job. Jon Favreau,
Jon Favreau makes good movies.
he makes good movies.
Talented guy.
So, but yeah, no, that's another soundtrack that I'm now going to have to listen to while I'm smoking. 'Cause I haven't done that, but you're
to do
talking
it again.
about it. Yeah, I'm just sitting here like, well, I could listen to that whole thing.
All music sounds better when you're smoking,
I would agree.
no matter how crappy. So just put
Smoking
something
what?
on, you'll take to it.
There's definitely some choices that are better than others, for sure.
That for
Yeah.
sure. Like the new Taylor Swift. No, I'm just kidding. She loves cigars. I mean,
She's a
Oh,
cigar
yeah,
smoking
yeah,
fool.